All right, we're here today on the 5 Minute Bark, and we've got a great episode for you guys here today. As I always say, we have some cool guests, and today we've got Ryan Williams. I found Ryan Williams on Facebook. I believe through a friend of mine named Brandon Stapper was commenting on a post that Ryan had posted, and it was a post of celebration. And here in the 5 Minute Bark, we are all about setting the tone for a winning day. And I just read the post, and I enjoyed the post, and I said, hey, if you want to be on my show, and he said, hell yeah. So we got Ryan Williams here today on the 5 Minute Bark, and he's going to tell us one heck of a story that I just love hearing. We talked before the show, and we just got to hear some great things. So we're going to go in detail here for you today. But first, we're going to have Ryan Williams say hello to you guys. So hello.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Thanks for having me.
Telling me and my listeners a little bit about yourself.
It's a long story.
Yep,
so
long
I'm
story
give
short.
Like the long short version of it. So I was in Northern California up until I was 15, and my mom raised me and my little brother and sister essentially on welfare until I was 15 years old. And at that point, and this is the part I skipped over in the thing, she basically said, fuck this, I'm tired of being poor, and recreated herself from the ground up as an author. So she found a niche that wasn't being serviced correctly, and she used her skills as a communicator. She's a really good writer.
Awesome.
So she developed this book series addressing that niche, shopped it around to like 60 different publishers. All of them told her, no, we're not interested. We're not going to do it. And she's like, fine, screw you guys. I'm going to do it myself, and started going through the process of creating her own printing company to get this book out. And so finally, one printing company was like, look, if you believe in your product this much, like, we'll give you a chance, and we'll publish like one book for you and see how it goes. Well, that one book ended up being their bestseller, which turned into a bestseller in the entire niche market that she had, which turned into being translated like 24 different countries all over the world. So now within her niche, she's become this just prolific writer and really well known within that area that she specializes in. So that was a big inspiration to me.
So your mom was your first mentor.
Yeah, you could say that.
I'm getting goosebumps here. I love this. This is awesome. Huh?
It's funny because when she first started out, one of the guys that I look up to now, Guy Kawasaki, would come over to the house and like mentor her a little bit and like get her going.
Wow.
And now he's, Guy Kawasaki's, very active in the entrepreneur scene.
Yes, of course.
So, it's interesting to see how these things kind of play out. So going from nothing to,
extremely
significant,
successful.
Right. So, with that, she decided to move out of Santa Rosa, California, because honestly, it sucks there. I hate
I've been there many times.
Yeah. Sorry. So she moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico. I ended up hating it there, went up to live with my dad, who I hadn't seen in, 10, 15 years, something like that.
Yeah.
In Washington State, went up to high school there, went back down. He kicked me out because I had a party. Sorry, Dad. And I went back to live with my mom, went to a prep school. That sucked. People were horrible. It was just the very social scene was terrible. Transferred to public high school. So that made 2 high schools in California, 1 in Washington, 2 in Santa Fe. So 5 high schools in 3 different states. None of my credits transferred over. So they're like,
you guys start all over again?
Yeah, I went to like halfway through my senior year, and they're like, hey, all your credits are incomplete. You're going to have to redo your senior year over again next year.
Wow.
I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm leaving. Like, see ya. Bye. And I dropped out of high school halfway through my senior year. So then I got my GED and left and went to, snowboard bum in Mammoth for a year, and then a jet ski bum in Havasu for a year. It's super fun. Highly recommend that.
I love that place. That's a fun place.
Oh, it's amazing. I had a great time. Super poor, but I had a great time. So then I decided I wanted to kind of find myself. So I looked up the hardest things that I could find to do, and it was either become a Navy SEAL or climb Mount Everest. And I didn't have the money to climb Mount Everest. So I decided to throw my hat in and see how I would do at Navy SEAL training. Just basically to find out who I was as a person.
Why a Navy SEAL? What did you have that edge in you?
At that point,
challenge?
It was the biggest challenge I could find. I talked to the other recruiters and everything, and nothing against them. Like Marines are hard as nails. Like there's a lot of other guys that are very good at what they do. But for me, that's the branch that spoke to me the most. It was from what I could tell at the time, the hardest thing in the military. And So I wanted to find out who I was as a person, as a man. I wanted to test myself. And the more I found out about it, the more I read about it, and the more I respected those guys that had done it. And I wanted to respect myself as much as I respected them. So that was my main reason in doing it. It wasn't, I mean, I'd love to say it was this is before 9/11, so I'd love to say it was some patriotic, I want to go serve my country, but ultimately I was just selfish, and I wanted to see if I had what it took to do it. That all changed once I made it through training. Fortunately, I made it straight through Class 219. It was the best of times and the worst of times. It was awful, but at the same time, when you're going through something like that with your boys, like it's miserable. But when you share misery with somebody like that,
isn't that funny?
It becomes like, you don't like it at the time, but looking back on it, you'd be like, hey bro, remember that time we were in the mud pits and I couldn't even see you, just your eyeballs, you're covered in mud. You're like, oh yeah, you were peeing on me, it was amazing. Yeah. But you don't care because it's warm. Yeah. So it's that kind of thing, and that brotherhood, that camaraderie. And once I got into the team, my focus totally changed. My perspective on a lot of things changed, mainly because I was exposed to a lot more than I had been previous in my life. And at that point, it wasn't so much, I'd never been involved in team sports or anything before. At that point, it shifted from me being involved in the team for my own purposes,
It's all right.
to me trying to be the best team guy that I could for the brotherhood, for the guys next to me. So, it was definitely a different change, just a different viewpoint on life from there. So that was the first couple of years. I spent 10 years in there and then got out in 2008. So after I got out, so I got out in 2008, took a job as a civilian instructor in the Navy SEAL pipeline. Yep. So I've been there for a long time doing that. But in 2007, that's when my entrepreneurial, I don't want to say career, but that's when I started. Yeah, I started exploring different options.
Ryan, I have to give you some good news. I don't know if it's good news or bad news, but you have I have it. I'm stuck with it for life. I have this challenging, I want to challenge everything in my life. And I'm noticing like the whole high school thing, they weren't challenging you. So you had to find challenge. Like you kind of migrated to who's going to challenge me next. And I do the same thing. So
I like life.
Be ready for up and down, buddy.
I like life experiences. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Is like, it's the stories and the experiences that you have, good or bad.
Yeah, no, I can't, I live by it. I couldn't live the regular life out there of a 9 to 5 or just like, I am in some of the most crazy challenges in my life right now. But I've been up, I've been an athlete, I've been a business owner. It never goes away, buddy. So I'm just letting you know, I'm just warning you that this adrenaline rush you want and have is coming your way. So it's exciting.
You know what? I'm at the point now in my business career, I guess if you want to call it that, where I'm finally like seeing things clearly. Like I feel like the veil is lifted and I'm like, I'm ready to go. Like I've been doing this since 2008 and I've learned so much that I feel now like I'm just getting started. Yeah. Like I'm super excited for 2016 and to make some major moves. So I'm pumped. Super stoked, man. Yeah, absolutely. I'm ready.
No, it's an amazing feeling, and it's really people like yourself are far and few between to actually have a conversation with, because like I get where you're going, I get where you're coming from. It's like you just always want that challenge.
It's really weird, man. Like I talk to a lot of different people about this stuff, and most people like
you're crazy.
They'll talk about this stuff, but they don't really want to do it. They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get up and go work out with you in the morning, and then they're not there. They're like, oh, I'm gonna get up and go to work. I want to see what you do. Like, no, you don't. You're not gonna show up. You're not gonna be
And it's
there.
okay. Probably you're smart not doing that, because we are crazy.
But that's the thing is, and we were talking about earlier, like different things make different people happy. Like my life will not make somebody else happy. Like some of my friends, like team guy friends, they love going home to their wife and their 3 kids in their house, and that's what makes them happy. And that's awesome. That's what it should be. For me, that's not my life. I have no interest in a picket fence and 2.5 kids and whatever else. Like that's not my life. And I mean, maybe my perspective will change on that in a couple of years. I don't know. But for right now,
adrenaline
rush. There's nowhere near. I want new experiences. I'd rather die at 60 with a lifetime full of experiences that are just insane, and people are telling stories in my funeral and like cheersing shot glasses of Jack Daniels and stuff, rather than like make it to like 90 and be like, wow, he lived a safe life. Like, no thanks.
Well, it's not the life it's not how long you live, it's the life you live, right? Yeah. And I was talking to actually a guest who lives very close to the border of Russia, and there's the heating of war over there.
Intense,
and she's like, she's saying, if we go to war, we're the first city in line. And so she's very scared. I'm like, I'm not in that position. She's from Armenia.
Okay, yeah.
And, I didn't really know what to say to her because I operate from this crazy mindset. But I'm like, if you live or die, it doesn't matter. It's a win-win situation.
Yeah, death is not the worst thing.
Yeah, you die, you're done. So it doesn't. The off button goes off, and you go somewhere else.
You don't care if you're dead.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
So, but but if you live, you just live with opportunity. So you can't live off of like worrying about this and worrying about that, and it's just like you just got to live.
No, I totally agree. Way too people are afraid of death. Like so many people live life as if they're going to live forever, and nobody's going to live forever. You're going to die. Yeah. Like, so don't be afraid of death. I mean, I tell people all the time, that's like being afraid that the sun is going to set. Like, it's going to happen. Why you be afraid of it? Like, just make the most of your daylight hours, do as much as you can. When the sun sets, be like, all right, see ya.
When I was young, I was really worried about nuclear war in high school. Like ninth grade, I remember like, wow, oh my God, this is like the end of my life. And it did bother me for many years, but I finally, thank God, come with the understanding of like, if I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. And I'm not going to know I'm done anyway. Right.
Dead people don't care.
Yeah. They don't care. So let's get back to focus on, because we had the post on Facebook about you purchasing a new car, which is kind of like a milestone in your life. Yeah. And it's actually a car, I talked to you about this earlier. It's a car that I went and actually saw at the dealership. I actually touched that car before you bought it. And so let's share this story that you had posted on Facebook with the world, because some of these people obviously haven't seen it on Facebook. So
I bought this
celebration.
Yeah, I bought this amazingly obnoxiously red Lamborghini.
Red's my favorite color.
So I love the car. It's amazing. And for me, there was this whole big long thing I wrote about like my past and how much I love that car. But really what it meant to me was, it's a symbol. It's a trophy. And a trophy doesn't mean anything unless you earn it, right? So you can go to the trophy store and buy your kid a trophy. You're like, here you go. You earned it, Johnny. Like, no, you didn't. Fuck you, Johnny. You didn't earn anything, But when you earn it yourself, like you don't hand somebody a gold medal and be like, hey, good job in the Olympics. Like, no, you have to earn it. You have to do something significant to earn that for yourself and for other people. So for me, that's always been a goal for myself. Like, okay, I'm going to set this and I'm going to reward myself with this trophy that I created in my own mind as a reward for reaching certain milestones. And it's taken me a long time to get there. And through, like, just touched on with a little bit of my past, it's like, man, it's been a long journey. But it's like we talked about mentors and stuff. Like, mentors aren't necessarily, they don't always have to be good. Right. You know what I mean? Like some of my ex-girlfriends have been great mentors. Like show me what not to do, like what mistakes not to do again. Yeah. Like, so I think as long as you learn from every experience that you have, then there's no such thing as like regret. I have very few regrets in my life because the things that, not to say I haven't been mistakes, but the mistakes that I have made, I've also
learned from. Yeah.
I've also been aware enough to learn from and make sure that, thankfully, been painful enough mistakes. Be sure to learn from them and not repeat them.
Right.
So there's been some massive mistakes, financial mistakes. I almost had to go into bankruptcy a couple of years ago because I don't ever buy a house with a stripper.
Yep. So, life goes on,
Yeah. Don't marry a stripper either.
So what does it feel like to get the keys? Did you drive it that day out of the facility? Or?
Yeah, I drove it very carefully, like 20 miles an hour.
Really?
Out to the, they took us out to dinner because it was also my 1.5 year anniversary with being with my girlfriend.
Okay.
Which of course I forgot because I was so
busy
wrapped up in the car, Lamborghini, right?
Yeah.
And so thankfully the guys at O'Gara Coach saved my butt and they're like, hey, we're going to take you out to dinner for your 1.5 year anniversary. I'm like, oh my God, thanks. Yeah. So we drove the car there and, those cars are very unique to drive. So it's not like you just hop in your Honda and like cruise around. Yeah. It's like firing up a jet. It takes some time. So I was getting used to it, but it was kind of funny. Like, and that was my first experience with having a trophy car like that.
Yeah. We
go in to have dinner. Everything's great. Come out and we're waiting for the valet. Of course, we parked it right out front. So this older gentleman sitting out there, looks like he's like from Ohio or something. Like he's still enamored by the Lamborghini, even though there's like 5 parked there.
So what restaurant is this?
Oh, I forget what it was. It was one of the nicer ones in La Jolla. I'm really bad with names.
Yeah. George's, I think, maybe.
Something like that, yeah. So we're coming out, and we're getting the keys from the valet, and the older guy, jokingly says, "Oh, look, they pulled your car around." I'm joking, like, because I'm dressed like this, I don't look like I have money. Yeah. And I'm like, "No, that is my car." He's like, "Uh-huh." And I'm like, put the keys, like, open it up, put my girlfriend in.
Did he really say that?
Yeah, he's the whole time I'm getting in it, he's just staring at me like,
what?
Yeah. I was like, see ya.
I had I used to be a bike rider, and one of the bike riders was making a lot of money at the time, and he had a Porsche, and he had the same situation. He was driving into the parking structure to go to his car, and the security guard goes, "Oh, get a real job," like beating on him, and then pulls out with his bike hanging out of the back of the Porsche and goes, "Yeah, you too."
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll never forget that story.
Yeah. So I'm learning. Driving that car is an experience in itself. Yeah, that's not so much the driving, but the reactions of other people. Yeah. It's so polarizing. That,
there's a lot that comes with that car beyond the payment and the insurance and the responsibilities with it. Yeah, there's a lot that comes with having a nice car, for sure. I mean, and a demeanor you have to have a demeanor as well.
It's a very different car because a lot of other cars in the same price range,
of course,
like a Bentley or Rolls or something like that. But a very different kind of person drives those cars. Like, I wouldn't buy one of those cars. Right. I mean, they're beautiful and I appreciate them from an aesthetic view. Yeah. But that's not me. You know, I'm not going to roll up in a Bentley. Like, I mean, look at me. I'm not.
You're not going to have a small logo on your shirt either.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So I think for me, my perspective on cars anyway, is that they're an extension of your personality. For me, that applies. For a lot of other people, they don't care about cars. Yeah. They care about, the picket fence and whatever else. So,
and that's great too. They're all good choices.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever makes you happy is what you should pursue. Absolutely.
Yes. Awesome. So Lamborghini, you started up, went to dinner at George's most likely, and we just pumping. Because I've never been in a Lamborghini actually. Surprisingly, I have friends that have them, but I haven't been in one. But I mean, you said you were just driving it like a baby.
Oh, we should go for a drive, man. It's an amazing experience. So yeah, it's so low to the ground. It's got all these switches, and half of them are in Italian, so I don't know what to say. I'm like, I can't even turn the lights on it, So I'm like, I'm gonna leave this in automatic, and it's got this little button that raises the front up, so you don't like grind on everything. So it's got all that kind of things. But I've been driving around for the last week, just getting used to it, and like once you get used to it, and you can start to kind of push the car a little bit. So it's been amazing what that car can do. Like physically, that it's just insane. It's
0 to 60 is.
I think they advertised like 3.2, but I think Car and Driver tested like 2.8, which is one of the fastest cars. Not fastest, but one of the quickest cars in the world. And when you're driving it, like it feels like it. There's very few cars that scare me. I've had fast cars before, but that's on a totally different level.
And that thing keeps its traction too, because the big tires, like they're like that big.
Yeah, I've never heard it peel out. Like it's so finely tuned with everything that goes into it. It is a complete package car. Like some of my other cars are like massive horsepower and
uncontrollable.
Yeah, they're equally scary to drive, but in a different way.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's intense, man. Yeah.
Awesome. So if there's somebody out there that's similar to us and they want to enjoy challenges or maybe ignite their challenges or something, is there any advice you can give to anybody out there? As far as like, I know you posted one video, it was great. You were up at 5 a.m. in the morning and you're going to the gym, and most people will not go to the gym at 5 a.m. I go at 6:30, and I feel like I'm getting there late, but yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's a time management issue, and there's a lot of people that do a lot better time management than I am, and I'm
not too good at it.
Yeah, like you mentioned Brandon Stapper earlier, like his processes are so finely tuned. Like I'm working with him on developing a plan to outsource the things that take up most of my time so I can focus on growing my company instead of the day-to-day little nitnoid stuff that I should be farming out anyway. Yeah. So it's really important to find people that are better than you at a lot of different things. So in business, outside of business, a lot of people think you should work on your weaknesses, which sounds great from, a whole person standpoint. But in business, I found that to be the opposite, because if you focus on your weaknesses, then you're never going to get super excellent at your strengths. So I would say find what you're good at and find a niche where that is needed, right, and get super, super good at it. So you're better than everybody else in that niche. And then as you expand, hire other people that are better than you at the things that you suck at.
Right.
Don't try to make yourself better than, I mean,
I just read this. Yeah.
yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. I mean, granted, you could spend a lifetime trying to get really excellent at a lot of things, and maybe that'll work and you start a business when you're 90 and you'll crush it for like 2 years and then die. So,
but yeah, you get strung out. I mean,
yeah.
I know right now starting up this company here, like obviously you saw me doing the mechanical stuff before, but I'd sure it'd be nice to be able to just hop on this mic and just really have a great conversation with you, but I have to make sure all the technical stuff, and you're right. I'm not out to be a sound expert or a video expert.
No, but you're making it work. And
right.
when we first started, my first clothing line was Forge Clothing with another team guy buddy of mine. And, we had, number one, we had no idea what we were doing, and we had no money to put into it.
That's great.
So we couldn't even hire a designer to do this stuff. So I downloaded the program, and actually I think my mom sent me the program because her area of expertise is designing. Yep. So she sent me the program, gave me some pointers on it, and I did all the designing for that company simply because we couldn't find a designer that we could afford.
Right.
So yeah, at a certain level, like you have to be competent and aware of the goings on in your company. But at the same point, once you reach a level where you're trying to drive the company, then it makes sense to kind of try to outsource or farm out those specific tasks. I never got to that point with that company because we talked to a bunch of different designers, and I don't know if anybody out there has dealt with designers before. They're incredibly difficult to work with. I've only found, I think, 2 companies or 2 guys in 8 years of doing this that are actually competent. Like when I get files from them, they're totally color separated. They're ready to go. They're sized. Everything looks tight. I don't have to do anything to them.
Right.
But I work with dozens and dozens of designers, even quote unquote professional shops, and they're terrible to deal with. So designing is a hard point. If you're thinking about starting a clothing line, like, I'll just hire a designer. It's possible, but just be prepared to do a lot of work with it.
Yeah. Any business has a lot of work. And when you get into it, I mean, there's a whole thing of designing something or creating something, but then there's the whole sales thing. The whole sales thing's a completely different thing. I think we were talking about it earlier, is like you have that other company and it's like, I have this great product that you need and I can't convince you to buy it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The kettlebell company. So we recreated kettlebells from scratch, because I was designing kettlebells with faces on them. And they were fantastic. They were really cool. They were selling, but my profit margin on them was terrible. So I designed these other performance bells that were basically an ergonomic improvement on it. So we reduce the contact patch, or we increase the contact patch to reduce the pounds per square inch on your arm. So mathematically, it made sense. And I thought everybody would just look at it and be like, oh, I see the difference. It makes sense. But nobody did. I had to like market it and brand it and do all these things and tell people like, hey, here's why this is cool. Here's why this mathematically makes things correct. But I don't have a Russian accent, so nobody took me seriously with the kettlebells.
Well, maybe you have to get one. That's right.
I know, right? I'll just start talking, like Drago.
Well, you talk and you'll get the accent come out, right?
There we go. Yeah.
Like,
I'll hire Ivan Drago.
Yeah. There you go. So yeah, that's a big issue with I'm running into the same situation now with my company. Is like, okay, I got all this great stuff put in place, and now it's the selling part. And it's like, okay, well, I want a break.
Yeah, but that's the biggest part. The branding, like with good branding, you can literally sell anything. Everything is marketing. Like the more I get into it, the more I realize that it's literally everything. Like what was that company with the really awful card game, Cards Against Humanity? They literally sold boxes of crap. It was literally a box with crap in it. Yeah. And they sold like 60,000 units of those things. Yeah. So if you have good marketing and branding, like you can literally sell crap.
Awesome. Well, we're already past our time, believe it or not. It flies by.
Wow. Yeah. That was quick.
Any last words you want to give anybody out there
Yeah, just consistency is key.
Yeah, I like that.
What I've noticed with business is it's not super complicated. It's not any magical formula. All it's doing is you're doing common sense decisions consistently. And if you can do that, over the long haul, you're going to surpass everybody else, because most people are really terrible at this stuff, at business in general. So if you can just screw up less than the other people, you're going to gain followers, gain business, and you're going to eventually succeed. Now, granted, that scale is going to be different. If you're really good, then the scale goes up faster. Yeah. And if you suck less than the other guy, you suck more than the other guys, you're here. But the goal is to suck less than everyone else. Yeah. So I'll leave you with this. There's a really funny quote. Before I came in the SEAL teams, there was one of the few interviews with team guys. This really old, crusty Master Chief with like the curly mustache and everything. He was like amazingly 80s guy. He's so cool. And there's this female reporter interviewer for, I forget what it was, but anyway, she was asking him, she's like, so Master Chief, what is it that makes the Navy SEALs better than anyone else? And he thinks for a second, twists his mustache, and he goes, it's not that we're so good, it's just that everyone else sucks. And nothing against my Marine brothers and all that, but it's very different. And the same thing can be applied to business. Like, it's amazing, like once you start talking with these other businesses, how really horribly they're run, how inefficiently their operating processes are. So if you can come in and just suck less than they do, like you're going to surpass them. I mean, granted, it's much better if you can actually be good, which is nice, but all you really have to do is be less shitty than the other guy, and you're going to have success.
And it rings true because, I mean, Tiger Woods always talks about this in golf. He's like, it's how I manage my bad shots. It makes me win. It's not how I manage my good shots.
Yeah, consistency.
It's managing all the difficulties, managing all the bad shots, the bad business decisions, because you're going to have bad employees, you're going to have bad decisions, you're going to lose half your wealth in one day sometimes, and all this is going to happen. But what you do from there, right, is where we go forward.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I like how you're saying that. I mean, you're kind of saying it in a way that people should just relate to it, because you're going to suck. Just manage your sucking.
You're going to make mistakes. Just try not to make the same mistakes. And we're all sitting there trying to manage our good stuff. Well, our good stuff's already good. You can't make it better. Yeah. But it's how you manage the crap. Absolutely.
So awesome. Ryan, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Dennis.
And this has been great. And listeners, I hope you learned here today. You know what? If you earn something, don't be afraid to show it, because it is a trophy in life that you worked hard and you deserved it. We are challenged people. We love to be challenged. We're infested with it. We're addicted to it. And so I can relate with Ryan here today. And it's exciting, but I don't recommend it for anyone. So
it's definitely a rough ride.
We're enjoying this life that we have. But you all have your own lives, and you're going to do things that are great in your own way. And that's what we all want. So awesome. Till next time, we're out. This is the 5-Minute Bark with Ryan Williams. Bye, everybody. Hi, my name is Dennis Langlais, founder of Team Cody Dog, a network of professionals dedicated to creating inspiration and success in all areas of life. A little about my journey. I embarked on personal self-development over 20 years ago. I immersed myself in every book, tape, course, and method I could find to create positive change in every area of my life. While these tools were invaluable in my evolution by building a success mindset and base of knowledge, I ran into problems in consistently applying the information I had learned. It was one thing to learn the powerful steps, but an entirely different challenge to apply them daily. I think most of us struggle with the application of new concepts and strategies, so I decided to do something about it. I put my team to work developing an app that could help others create actual success in all areas of their life. Not just conceptual, but real-world success. Our new app utilizes a powerful concept used in an area of financial investing: compound interest. Compound interest is an extremely powerful tool to build long-term wealth. So we created an app that mirrors this concept and will help you make changes on top of changes. Each tier building off the last, and your success in any area of your life will literally take off exponentially. If you are like me and you have invested hundreds, even thousands of dollars in success and personal development products, you need this simple but highly powerful tool to maximize your investment in yourself. Anyone with a computer or mobile device can put this to use starting in 5 minutes or less. Simply click on the following link and find out how our new Team Cody Dog app can be a real life changer for your personal development and success. Click here now.